I lost. That's what he brags about, you know. Such and such people have tried. So many of them has tried. All of them has failed.
Smart and being specific for what we do. So, and that's what we do. With our odds to do it, we just cater towards that fighter.
As a exhibition now, later on down the line.
Oh, why not? Why not? If he's willing to have a rematch with me, then I'm okay with that.
Manny Pacquiao has answered Floyd Mayweather's recent challenge for a rematch, saying he's interested, but only if it's a real fight, not just a show. Pacquiao made it clear he's ready if Mayweather truly wants it, but the match must have real meaning. This time, he wants real stakes and a winner, not just a performance for the cameras.
Willing to have a rematch with me, then I'm okay with that.
An exhibition. How does it go now? This time around, obviously, it's been quite a few years since you guys got in the ring.
It's okay. An exhibition with a decision.
With a decision. Not just exhibition.
Yeah.
So for how long do you
exhibition with a decision?
At age 46, Pacquiao's comeback has sparked big statements from his team. His trainer believes Manny has now passed Mayweather in boxing greatness. He mentions that George Foreman won a title in his 40s, but not in 8 weight divisions like Manny. What Pacquiao is doing isn't just rare, it's unmatched. He's not fighting for fame or cash, but to win a world title. That, says the coach, makes him greater than Mayweather's exhibition career.
Being smart and being specific for what we do. So, and that's what we do. With our odds to do it, we just cater towards that fighter. That's mainly with Manny. Someone like Pacquiao, say he doesn't overtrain.
When you're talking about overtraining, like, do you mean
like doing too much? Like
no, I mean that. What I was gonna say was like take a day off. Like,
no, well, you take a day off to listen to his body. So one day, day you wake up, it'll be a few days coming up where you just wake up, I'm just fucking sore. I'm just tired. It's time to listen to your body. Take a day off, and you'll recover, and you'll be better. If you push through it, you'll overtrain. Take you one training session to overtrain, then you're fucked. It'll mess you up for a couple of weeks.
Floyd Mayweather's flawless 50-0 record is more than just wins, it's his pride and image. Many believe his need to stay unbeaten is why he avoids another fight with Pacquiao. Facing Manny again could break that streak, especially now that Manny looks strong. Floyd not speaking about a real rematch says a lot. It shows he values keeping that perfect record. Most of all,
a lot of people want to know, well, Manny Pacquiao gonna fight Floyd after that. Floyd is not gonna fight Manny Pacquiao, especially if Manny Pacquiao look like he can do something. If Manny Pacquiao look like he got them hands, he still got it. Floyd is not gonna risk taking a loss. That's what he brags about, you know. Such and such people have tried. So many of them has tried. All of them has failed. Floyd care about that O more than anything, you know. Well, the money and the O, they go together for him.
Mayweather has accused Pacquiao of using his name for attention. When Manny asked for a second fight before, Floyd declined, saying Pacquiao just wants to stay in the spotlight. According to Floyd, their first bout ended the discussion, and talk of a rematch is just for headlines. He feels Pacquiao's team may believe they can win, but the past says otherwise.
Manny Pacquiao spoke about that he shouldn't have. Because it's a time and a place for everything. I'm not gonna say he's right and I'm not gonna say he's wrong. I ain't have to say nothing. Just by you saying my name, they gave me a check for $4 million.
Who did?
I mean, I don't like to throw certain individuals under the bus because we don't do that. He said my name when he didn't supposed to. Remember, I said it's a time and a place. Remember, I want you guys to go check out Manny Pacquiao when he got upset a few times when he said, "Oh, Floyd, you using my name, you using my name." He got famous because they said this could be the guy that could possibly dethrone the king. Did it happen? Absolutely not. Was he easy? Absolutely.
Even though Mayweather won the first fight, he said Pacquiao was still a threat. Floyd admitted Manny wasn't 100% that night, which helped him win still. Mayweather says if Pacquiao couldn't beat him then, there's no reason to try. Again, his comments make it clear he won't risk his legacy, especially on a match he already won once.
Pacquiao obviously got power also.
Right.
I've been in there with him.
Did you feel his power?
He's solid. He's solid.
Okay.
He's solid. Ain't nothing I never felt before, but he's solid.
Right.
And he felt me too. That's why he wasn't quick to run in there.
Right.
So it's obvious we both felt each other. At the end of the day, it finally happened. He got cooked. Right. Now they begging for a rematch. My thing is this: if you get it done right the first time, you got to do it again.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and an experienced boxing trainer, doesn't see a need for a second fight. He thinks the first one was fair and doesn't believe Pacquiao's claim about his shoulder. Jeff says Manny looked fine in the ring and thinks the injury story was just an excuse to him. The result was clear and should be final.
All right, well, even if you think he did win the fight, Manny was obviously severely injured. He had a hurt shoulder in that fight. So do you think Floyd would want the rematch knowing that he had a very close victory over a guy that was fighting basically one-armed?
Basically, a guy with one arm was throwing punches for 12 rounds. Throwing very hard punches for 12 rounds. If you got a torn rotator cuff, you ain't gonna throw no punches at all. So that's bullshit.
So you question Manny on that one?
I question Manny on that one. I mean, the thing is this, the reality is this, is that then after the fight, you never went and got surgery to get it repaired. You basically said that, oh, God healed you. Can't say that. I ain't going against what you're saying about that, but what I'm saying is this, is that if you had something torn, it has to be fixed.
Even though Floyd controlled their first meeting, fans and experts still praise Manny. He stayed busy and made the fight close now. Some think a rematch could go differently, especially since Floyd hasn't fought seriously in years. Mayweather's image alone might not be enough to stop people from believing Pacquiao could beat him this time.
Damn, how was it?
That was amazing, man.
Thank you,
Really good, bro.
Thank you.
Shout out to the machete hooking it up.
Bro, I gotta ask you. So you're the expert.
Para este?
You're the expert. You're the champ. I gotta ask you, Floyd and Mayweather and Manny. Right now, who you think will win?
I don't know. That'll be a really good fight. I think Manny, because he's been more active. You know, he's been more active. Mayweather's Mayweather. You know, he's always good. He stays in shape. Takes care of himself. But it'll be an awesome fight.
You have to go with Manny, though, right?
Yep.
You have to go with Manny. He's been,
of course.
And Floyd's last two fights weren't really pro fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, over there in China
and Conor McGregor. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely put your money on Manny.
Yeah, of course,
absolutely. So the Mexican Rocky, huh?
Mexican Rocky. Trying to get that movie.
There it is.
Wasn't Rocky Mexican?
Which one?
Rocky was Mexican, wasn't he?
Oh, Italian. You talking about Sly?
Oh man! All this time I've been watching that. Oh, I thought he was Mexican.
Hey, Daddy's choking too hard with you.
Freddie Roach, Manny's longtime coach, is impressed with Pacquiao's intense training in his 40s. He says Manny's workouts are just as tough as when he was younger. Roach also notes that Floyd doesn't seem interested in a true comeback. He believes even in their first fight, Pacquiao looked strong, and now he's still sharp enough to be dangerous.
Match with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Can you see it happening fairly quickly?
I'm not sure because, Floyd walked out of the arena before the announcement of
on Saturday night.
Yeah. Oh. And I guess he didn't want to get called out by Manny. And he is 42 now, and he's older than Manny, and Manny's performance was unbelievable, and I think that's why he kind of snuck out of there a little bit early. But I mean, this is why we're really in the game right now, because we want that rematch. Yeah. I want that rematch, because Manny had an injury last time, but after the fourth round, he said, "Freddie, I can't throw it anymore," and I said, "Just do the best you can." And I know we can do so much better in the rematch, and I know we can win that fight. And it's like what me and Manny both want badly, and we would love to get that.
Go back to the first fight. It was about 3 weeks before the bout, and you were in a sparring session. Manny tore his rotator cuff.
Yes.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Keith Thurman, a former opponent, admitted how strong Pacquiao was when they fought. He was surprised Manny still had that kind of power at 40. Thurman said the punches didn't feel like they came from an older man. They were fast, hard, and non-stop. That kind of strength at that age shows how well-conditioned and focused Manny is.
Pacquiao, it's weird. Danny felt like a big brick. Pacquiao felt like a little brick. Okay? Now, the weird part is Pacquiao's hands just felt heavy. After the fight, I constantly was thinking, why did his fist feel like a rock? You know? It was like awkward, right? I was like, why did his fist feel so hard in the fight? You know? I was like, it was a little awkward. I don't really care about that stuff that much. I mean, I could handle it. It wasn't wasn't devastated. Didn't really feel like plaster, but it felt like something. Felt like a rock. So I thought, like, does he do certain training? Does he do certain, does he build up calluses? Does he have more dense bone density in his hands? Did they do some Asian stuff? What did they do? Who knows, right? And then looking at the picture, I was like, damn, you know what? Pacquiao wore them old school Mexican Reyes.
Recent training clips show Pacquiao at 46 still moving with the same speed that made him great. His footwork is fast, his punches are clean, and he's extremely focused, even with age. He hasn't lost the skills that made him an 8 division champ. Both fans and analysts are shocked he still looks like the old Manny.
10 seconds. 10.
The debate over who has the better legacy, Pacquiao or Mayweather, still splits fans. Manny took more risks, winning across many weight divisions. Mayweather, meanwhile, protected an undefeated record. While Floyd stays in the news with his flashy lifestyle, Manny lets his achievements speak. His courage to take tough fights keeps the debate alive.
So who has the best accomplishment, Floyd or Manny Pacquiao? The 8 divisions versus the 50-0, beating 23 world champions. You guys know which way I go. I like Floyd a whole lot more, but I gotta respect Manny Pacquiao as the greatest boxer of all time. 8 divisions is the greatest feat. I don't think you could do anything greater than becoming an 8 division champion. I say 8 divisions better than the 50-0 because you could pick your way to that eventually. 50-0 is really not that impressive. It's really the 23 world champions. And the thing about that is that a lot of them are former. When you become an 8 division champion, that means you're fighting active champions or you're fighting for vacant titles for guys who probably would have been champion. I think Floyd has a great resume. He's my number 2 all time. I think he has amazing champions on his resume. I don't think he just cherry-picked and ducked his whole career. But if you fight a fighter in Sergey Kovalev in 2025, that is considered a champion, former world champion, and it will go on your resume as a champion. Same as if you fought Mike Tyson in 2025. You beat a world champion. That's why with Floyd, you really got to go back and look at the names and see where they were at. Like I said, amazing feat nonetheless. It's still hard to beat 23 world champions. Not saying all of them were just over the hill, but 8 divisions is something I truly believe we will never see again.
Boxer George Kambosos Jr. recently praised Pacquiao's return, saying boxing needs icons like him. He called Manny a living legend and said the match with Mario Barrios is more than just a throwback, it could shake up the whole sport. Kambosos feels Pacquiao's return adds real excitement, even at this later stage in his career.
Yeah, it's surprising. Obviously, I know Manny very well. You know, he's a true competitor. He's a guy that if you put something in his head, and obviously to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and, try his best. That's what Manny, one thing I always learned with Manny is give 110% and try your best no matter what. So, he's going to give it his all. Again, you can't beat Father Time, but Father Time is hard, and it was very hard watching him fight Lucas, and you could see it. And then watching the exhibition he had with the Korean guy or the Japanese guy in last year, it was hard to watch. I know Manny, I know the man that I was sparring. I love that guy. So, but again, he's a legend, and if he turns it on, he can still do it.
Floyd Mayweather has commented on Pacquiao's comeback, saying it's mainly about money. He says if he were Manny, he'd probably do the same thing from Floyd's point of view. Pacquiao is just chasing one last big check, not legacy or revenge. To him, it's more about business than a true sporting return.
We have a chance to have a rematch.
Of course, if I was Manny Pacquiao, would I be chasing Floyd Mayweather to do an exhibition to get a good payday? Absolutely I will.
I can say that more action than compared to the first one, because the first one, we know the fact that I have injury on my shoulders.
There's no blueprint on how to beat Floyd Mayweather.
He's older than me.
When we talk about Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer. But nobody has the remedy on how to beat Floyd Mayweather. Where Manny had a great career, but boxing retired Manny. Manny didn't retire from boxing.
I'm still young, so what I have done and accomplished in boxing, I think it's one of a kind, because to get a 8 different weight division is not that easy.
Thinking back to their first fight, Pacquiao says he believed he did enough to win. He never held anything against Floyd, but hints that outside things might have changed the outcome. Manny has always been humble in losing, but says he wasn't. at his physical best that night, and he feels that really affected how the fight went.
Manny Pacquiao he hasn't been a pro in a minute, and you're coming back to fight someone for a belt. Barrios technically should win, but this isn't fair. Like, we could have had Brian Norman Jr. versus Barrios, but we're getting Manny Pacquiao versus Barrios. I don't think anyone wants to see that. Manny Pacquiao is past his prime. He's not in his fighting years no more. And then can't he make 147? And then you're letting him fight for the belt. That doesn't make any type of sense. And then if he beats Barrios, let's say hypothetically he beats him, is he gonna unify? Because Boots, that's sitting in the lamb to the slaughter. Brian Norman, that's sitting in the lamb to slaughter. Like, this doesn't make no sense. These young fighters, like, they can really hurt Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao couldn't even handle Ugas. Like, just think about how this is all playing out. It doesn't make sense. This fight shouldn't be made. Like, there's other fighters that Barrios can fight. Like, he could try to fight Boots, because I think unification is Trump mandatories. Or I would have to look into the weight division for him. Oh, he could fight Rohan. There's other fighters you can fight besides Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao.
The buzz for a second showdown between these two legends is still alive. Fans around the world still talk about their first fight and wonder how it might have gone. If both were in their prime, many think the timing wasn't right back then, and even if it's an exhibition now, it would still get massive attention and viewership.
Speaking of Mayweather, fam, do you see they're doing the Pacquiao rematch?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was about to say that. They announced it, and all the fans were like,
weirdest way, bro. It's like, yo, they didn't even know. It's like they didn't know if they actually meant to announce it or not.
This
one,
like
that fight's actually happening.
I heard in the comments that they announced it in like Chinese or something before, and then the crowd went crazy.
Like Japan, right?
Yeah, in their language they announced it, and then they went crazy, and then they did it in English, and then like that was silence.
That makes sense, because Manny Pacquiao said it's like no one cared. I was like, bro, are we like hearing the same thing? The man just said he's fighting Floyd Mayweather, and no one cared. Everyone's like, okay, like, hand over the mic, dog. Like, bro. Like, bro,
people are saying
massive.
that. They're saying that, or they're saying, oh, like where they were, it's like culture to not like make noise during stuff like.
Nah, bro, you know the fans that Manny Pacquiao has and stuff, bro. If he's announcing that fight, these guys are going off.
Pacquiao's current training is serious. It's not just for show. He's doing real workouts, sparring often, and working hard on endurance. This return isn't about saying goodbye. It's a calculated move to compete again. His focus is clear in his eyes, and his punch power shows he's serious about winning and sealing his legacy for good.
Day one.
Marvin.
Good.
And now the timer is a film.